You can do this. There's no reason why you can't do this.
It's a really interesting question in that we all go through that at some point.
Hello and welcome to the best advice in the solar system. I'm Helen Sharman, science communicator and astronaut.
And I'm Nicole Stott, veteran NASA astronaut, aquanaut, and artist. And today we're going to be helping you answer some of life's difficult questions.
Let's hear our first message.
Hi there. I've just got accepted into university to study law, but I'm afraid I'll have to give up doing other things I love. How do I prioritise work without losing other parts of my life?
Wow.
I think that's one for you, Nicole, with all of your art.
Do you, Helen? Okay. Well, I think it's a really interesting question in that we all go through that at some point, right? Where this thing we really want to do becomes the priority, and how do we balance out all of the other stuff that we love in our lives? And I think we need to just really figure out what those things are, right? For me, to be able to go through the astronaut training and all of that, I still needed that balance, that release that came from painting as well.
And you can schedule these things in, can't you? You don't have to just focus on what you have to do on your studies. You can schedule in breaks to rest and do other things, whether it's art or whatever it might want to be.
Yeah. And I love it through our astronaut training. They make a point of scheduling those things in for us, right? The exercise that we need to do to stay healthy, and even rest time within our daily activities.
But also that we could decide what to do. So I think having that element of control sometimes, when the rest of your life can be so programmed and you're told what to do, just controlling for yourself what it is you want to do in those rest breaks, that's really important.
I find myself doing that more deliberately down here on Earth when there's all these other priorities, which may even be like law school. You've got to find that self-care time, that give it to yourself time to rest and relax through those kinds of activities.
Wonderful. Let's hear our next message.
Excellent.
I'm a scientist and I love all things science, but my 8-year-old just isn't interested. How can I make her take an interest in it?
Oh, Helen, go.
Beverly, I know as a scientist you must feel gutted. But you know, I think science is just everywhere, isn't it? And I often think that it's a question of letting people work that out for themselves, and also understanding that it's all about questioning. You know, for me, this whole idea that science, you have to do science in order for it to be science. I mean, it's rubbish, isn't it? That actually you don't have to be in a classroom or in a lesson or in a discussion about science. If you think about, I mean, everybody's so curious. You know, why is the grass green? I mean, if you start to think about that a little bit, and actually as a scientist, Beverly, if you've got that in mind already, then you'll be able to discuss things like how is an object absorbing light, not all the light that falls on it, but just some of the light. And then as soon as you start to talk about that, then you're off into rainbows and plants absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and it just goes on and on. And there are so many ways, aren't there, to find out about science.
I love it, Helen, and I've witnessed you communicating with kids before about this and how beautifully the science of what is around us every day can come to us in so many different ways, through creating artwork even.
It's just whether you go to an exhibition or a festival or watch TV, some great websites. It's just everywhere.
Oh, Helen, look at this. I think we have a question from the audience.
Hi. I swim for my school and we're about to compete in the nationals. As soon as I get to a competition, I get so nervous I feel sick. It affects my confidence and I think I'm going to fail. How do I keep calm under pressure?
Oh, Billy, it is awful, isn't it, when you get that knot in your stomach? Yeah, we've all been there, haven't we? I'm often asked, wasn't I scared for my launch? And I'm honestly can say that I was not scared. And I think that's because I knew what I had to do and I knew what was going to happen. So for me, taking the fear out of stuff is all about finding out about it. You know, we're scared of the unknown, I think.
And I think recognizing that whoever you're there swimming with, and I think about it like whoever you're there launching with on a rocket or in space with, it's very much the same. There is some level of a concern in every single person that's getting ready to do something, especially something where you have, like you say, this fear of failing. And I think that's in us all. And that's where that knowledge, the training you've done, really just focusing on that and how that can bring to life the success for you is the best way to really look at it.
I mean, there's this element of talking to ourselves, isn't there, to making sure that we can actually pep ourselves up, really.
Right.
One of our experts talked to us about talking to us not in the first person, like, oh dear, what's going on, and ruminating, but saying, you know what, you can do this. There's no reason why you can't do this. This is going to be absolutely fine. Or even in the third person, use your name like a friend might. Go for it. Yeah. Swim well.
Yeah.
OK, on to the next message.
Hi, Dale here. I have to travel for work a lot, and I really struggle to sleep in new places. I miss the feeling of my own pillow and the sound of my partner snoring. Any tips on nodding off?
Now, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that they missed the sound of snoring.
I was going to say the thing, Dale. Maybe that's one of those sound machines you can get, or you record your partner snoring and bring it with you. That could be the waves on the beach or something.
Well, not to joke, actually.
No, not at all.
Seriously, that could be a thing. And you can also take your pillow or something like it. Maybe it's just a small part of something like a pillow, a small version. You could take that. But I wonder, actually, if Dale was also talking about travelling and going through time zones, maybe. So maybe there's a bit of, light and dark going on there, a bit of jet lag. And so, we know about that morning light, don't we? How important it is to wake up and get that bright light in our eyes to try and reset our body clocks.
Yeah, I thought that was so interesting, this discovery of the getting up and waking up and that light being the thing that could be a key to a good night's sleep. And we discovered that on the space station too, right? Or in space where we're, night and day are kind of a weird thing. You're sleeping on the ceiling of your spaceship or in this little crew compartment thing now, and you're having to figure out how do I manage and adapt in this place to what I've known to be comfortable for me in my bedroom at home on Earth. And some of the underlying things that we tend to take for granted, and I think we can bring them with us anywhere. When I'm in a hotel room, I try to do it for sure. Shut those curtains and get it as dark in that room as you can. Crank the air down just a little bit so it's a little bit cooler than you might normally have it. And like you said, Helen, have that pillow or something that the recording of your partner snoring, if that's helpful to you, there as the familiarity in this place that might be unusual to you.
It can be hard to exercise, can't it, when you're out and about, as we might do perhaps more at home. Yeah. But we can certainly make sure that we have that gentle downtime, that restful period before we go to bed as part of our kind of routine into going to sleep. That's always helpful too. Look, wasn't expecting that.
They're ringing. Let's see who it is.
Hello, Helen and Nicole. I wonder if you can help. I've decided to switch careers later in life from working in a travel agent to studying zoology, giving up my stable day job. I've never done anything like this before, and my family thinks I'm reckless. How do I prove to them and myself that I can do this?
That's such a great question.
I love it.
I do too. I was going to say three words were going to come out.
Great courage and just, but what opportunities we have now that we can do this kind of thing and really change careers. And if we have opportunities to do all this stuff, there's no reason, is there, why if you feel that you're able to do it, why you shouldn't go ahead. And it's a shame, really, that Steve's family is starting to make him perhaps self-doubt a bit, possibly.
I know that. I mean, that is a shame, and I think that you have to. A lot of times you just have to move past that. If you've already felt it in your gut and feel it in your heart and your mind that this is the thing. I mean, there's something driving Steve to do this, right? To really feel like this change is something he wants to do.
So perhaps Steve just needs to talk to his family and explain to them his thought processes.
Man, I think it doesn't matter what age we're at, when we discover something that really excites us, something that we're really especially curious about, there are so many ways to go about pursuing that. And another, studying and having another career is, I don't know, I think it's just a really wonderful pathway. And
we know anyway, don't we, that learning new stuff is really good. It protects us, it helps to protect us from dementia later on. So perhaps his family really should be very keen. We should all be doing this.
Figuring out why aren't we doing this.
If you could go away and study something, though, like go back to university, let's say, what would you study? What subject would you choose now?
Wow, I think that flying would still be part of my life. I mean, I don't think the flying thing, wanting to know how things fly would go away. But I am really just in awe of what's going on below the surface of our planet, too. I think the whole marine science, maybe marine biology, exploration would have to come into it as well.
Yeah, there's just so much, isn't there? That's all we've got time for today. Thanks for watching. This is Helen Sharman.
And I'm Nicole Stott. And if you want to hear more advice from us or other experts in their field, you can listen to our podcast, Discover Your Inner Astronaut, on Audible.